Hey guys, this is Spartacus here and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be giving off my first impressions of Modern Warfare now that the game has been out for a little over a week now, and I think we all have pretty strong opinions about this game, and I just want to give off my opinions in this video. Keep in mind, I have only played the multiplayer. I have spent 6 hours and 36 minutes in the multiplayer. I've actually only been able to play the multiplayer in the past 2 days because during the beginning of the launch of the game, I wasn't around my Xbox to actually play the game, and then when I did get to my Xbox, I had to download the game, and then I had to do assignments, and then I had to study for a test. I had a lot going on during the weekdays, but now that's the weekend and I got all that stuff taken care of, I can now finally play this game, and now that I kind of got a good idea what the multiplayer is like, I feel like I can give off my opinion that I'm going to stick with for a while now until things change, because apparently there's going to be a huge overhaul in the multiplayer this upcoming month, so I might as well just get the first week review of this game out of the way, or impressions, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, we're not going to be covering campaign or Spec Ops, just the multiplayer. So the first thing I do want to talk about is the minimap. This is something that I think we all can agree on it needs to be changed. I feel like some people may not think that the multiplayer, or at least the minimap anyway, doesn't really affect the multiplayer that much, but you know, the minimap actually does. It really does. You know, they might as well not even have the minimap in the game if they're going to keep it like this. And that's how it actually was going to be. There wasn't supposed to be a minimap unless you actually called in your UAV, of course. But I feel like this minimap needs to turn back to the traditional minimap that we've seen in previous Call of Duty games, and that's because this game is just promoting camping for many different reasons. The way the maps are laid out really promote people to camp, and also since enemies aren't going to be seen on your minimap unless you have a UAV up in the air or something, then it just gives them all the more reason to camp, you know. So yeah, the minimap needs to return the traditional one anyway, so that way we can see when people are shooting their gun and where they're at on the minimap, because of course we do have the compass right at the middle of the top of our screen, and that does help a little bit because you know which direction enemies are at and where they're shooting their guns, but you don't really know exactly where they are on the actual map. You don't know if they're up on a higher level, on a lower level, on the same level as you, and so that's when you kind of have to use your audio to kind of figure out which level they're in and kind of figure out what position in that area in front of you they're actually at. Whereas in the traditional Call of Duty games, or in previous ones with the traditional minimap, you're able to figure out exactly where they are on the map using your minimap. And so this is, I think, a big step in the right direction if we change the minimap to what we've seen in the past, so that way it promotes, or excuse me, it does not promote camping in this game, because camping is just the only playstyle you can really do in this game. Honestly, if you want to do good in this game, you kind of have to camp. Yes, you can rush and be successful with it, but it's very hard. It is not easy at all, guys. This is like a really hard Call of Duty game for me. I'm barely going positive in every game I play. It's insane. I never do this bad ever in a Call of Duty game. It's like I'm playing Call of Duty for the very first time and never touched an Xbox controller either. It's absolutely crazy to me. So yes, minimap, please change it back to the traditional one. I think this will help the game in the long run and make the game more enjoyable for the rest of us. Another thing is tone down the footsteps. Now, this is a huge thing they need to fix on, because yes, I am happy that footsteps are loud, because that way I can hear enemies and it makes things a lot easier for me. But to be honest with you, they're just too loud. Seriously, I can hear someone walking miles away. It's incredible to me how much I can hear them, and it doesn't really help me when I'm trying to sneak up on an enemy and try and melee them or try to flank them or something, because I remember I was playing this 20v20 map where I'm in kind of this moat, or not really a moat. Anyway, I was crouched behind this dirt area, and I know the enemy can't see me, but I'm just crouched because I'm trying to sneak up and try and get behind him. I knew if I ran, he could hear me, but even when I'm crouched, they can still hear my footsteps, and he was able to kill me because they're just too loud. And I just think it really needs to be toned down. The just audio for footsteps is ridiculous. I mean, of course, we do have dead silence in this game. A lot of people think it should just be a perk. I disagree. I do not want dead silence to be a perk at all in this game. I like how it's actually a field order type of upgrade that you can have, and not to mention, when you activate it, every kill you get resets the actual ability for dead silence. So essentially you could have unlimited dead silence throughout the whole game if you don't die and keep getting consistent amount of kills. So personally, I don't think dead silence should be a perk. I think it should stay where it is. That's totally fine with me. But yes, the footsteps definitely need to be toned down. Another thing, and this will be fixed eventually, I know it will, are the challenges, especially the daily challenges. I've noticed that the daily challenges are just not working properly. I know if you reset your game, then it updates your challenge progression, but for some reason today I needed like 20 pistol kills, right? But for some reason, I know I've gotten like more than like 2 pistol kills or something like that in playing ground war, playing like domination, playing all these different game modes. I don't know if I ever got 20 pistol kills. I know I got more than 2 pistol kills, but when I restarted my game, it said I only got 2 pistol kills, so I thought that was a little odd. So those daily challenges definitely need to be fixed and hopefully get fixed soon, because I don't really like restarting my game in order to see if they're actually completed or not. So that's just kind of a suggestion out there. And then of course, spawns. This is very needed change. I think it's probably one of the most important changes that need to be focused here in this game. But of course, the map layouts, that also is a little bit of an issue as well when it comes to this. So spawn killing is super easy, like especially when you're playing domination. It is very easy to spawn trap enemies. Like seriously, it requires no effort at all, to be completely honest with you. And spawns do need to switch just a little bit more frequently. Don't switch too frequently like I saw back in Black Ops 4. I feel like in Black Ops 4 spawns flipped way too frequently in that game, but in this game, try and make them switch a little bit more. It's like you have to have the entire team to push the enemy side in order for their spawns to switch. It's absolutely crazy to me. And so the spawns definitely need a rework, and I'm not sure like exactly how they should do it, but spawn killing is definitely too easy, and they need to make it where like you spawn somewhere where they're not going to be able to spawn kill you at, you know. That's pretty much all I'm asking for. And you know, those are really all my critical points about this game. However, there are definitely some positive things about this game. I mean, there's a lot of positive things about this game. Really, just gameplay wise is the only thing holding this game back for me. Like, I'll still play this game. I'm still trying to get used to it. I'm still trying to get better and try to grind out the game, you know. But the gameplay is really the only thing that's holding this game back from me for being a good Call of Duty's multiplayer. Everything else is great. Honestly, everything else about the multiplayer is awesome. It's just that a gameplay standpoint, if I am not going to be able to do good, if there's like no way I can perform really good in this game, then there's something wrong with the gameplay wise that's stopping me from being good, and that's the only thing really holding me back. However, the good things are many different attachments for your weapons. Of course, this is a huge focus in the multiplayer rather than, of course, just leveling up your character in general. It's trying to get attachments for your weapons. I love the different variety of attachments. I actually really do like how, of course, attachments have some benefits to the gun, but there's some downsides as well, and I'm still trying to mess with these attachments to see which ones are good for certain weapons, because, you know, in the past for Call of Duty, there's always these certain attachments for weapons that just made the game, or made the gun really good, and they weren't too hard to figure out. You just knew they were going to perform really well. Well, here in this game, you really got to think which attachments are actually going to benefit my playstyle and actually make me a better player. And I'm still struggling with that. I feel like the attachments I have right now on the Kilo that I'm using isn't working very well, and I'm still trying to unlock more and seeing which ones actually kind of benefit my playstyle a little bit more. And it's just a huge work I'm trying to figure out. So I do appreciate that about the game, is the many different attachment options for our weapons. Another thing that they brought back into this game is combat records and leaderboards. Thank freaking God. This is something we did not see in Black Ops 4. We also didn't see a campaign in Black Ops 4, so that's a huge plus. I really do appreciate the combat record. This is something that I love looking at. I love seeing all the different stats for my guns, equipment, kill streaks, whatever it may be, and like, of course, my overall KD and win-lose ratio, which, by the way, is not very good right now. I mean, my win-lose ratio isn't terrible, but my kill-death ratio, we're not going to talk about that. So yeah, I am so happy they brought that back. Of course, crossplay is a thing. We've known this for quite some time, and another thing I like to mention about crossplay, I was in a team deathmatch lobby, and there was only one other Xbox person, and then there was like one other PC player, and the rest were PlayStation people. Like, literally, I was playing up against PlayStation people. It's just weird to me. Like, I was just thinking that in my head. I'm like, this is so weird. I am playing up against everybody who's on PlayStation, yet I'm on Xbox, and then of course there's like a PC guy on my team. Like, I'm just thinking that to myself, I'm like, wow, that is just so weird to think that I'm actually playing people who are using a PlayStation 4. And so, I don't know, crossplay is an awesome feature. I know some people hate going up against PC players, but I haven't really gone up against PC players quite that often, so I can't really complain about that. I mean, I'm not complaining about crossplay in general. It should be in every Call of Duty game from now on, in my opinion. And then another thing I like to mention, this is also kind of a good and bad thing, is that every gun in this game is good, and that's probably due to the fact that there's a fast time to kill in this game. But you know, it's kind of same with Call of Duty Ghosts and maybe even Modern Warfare 3 a little bit. But you see, if every gun is a fast killing weapon, or at least that every gun feels like there's a good time to kill with it, then to me every gun is a viable option. And so far all the guns that I've used have been really good. Like, really, the first starting pistol is probably like the weakest weapon in the game. Everything else just seems so good. Like, there isn't a specific gun in this game that stands out to be the best weapon. Every gun in this game just seems like it's really good. It just really depends on the attachments you put on it, which is of course the hard part about making your creative class. And that's something I love about this game, is just seeing every gun is a viable option. There isn't one gun you specifically have to run with if you want to get easy nukes in this game or something like that. But anyway, that's going to be it for my first impressions of the first week of Modern Warfare. What are your guys' first week impressions of this game? Let me know in the comments below. Of course, make sure you guys like this video if you actually did enjoy it. And of course, subscribe to the channel for more Modern Warfare videos in the future. And I shall catch you guys later.